Next, Ken Toltz is running also for the 2nd Congressional District, and he has been involved in Colorado politics for a long time as well, and is a great candidate for us to consider. And so please give your attention to Ken Toltz. Welcome.
So thank you, Jeannie, who's a friend of mine for many, many years. And I'm a prospective candidate for Colorado Congressional District CD2. And I came here to Gilpin County to meet the Democrats, the active Democrats, and tell you a little bit about my message and why I think it's really important that we have a robust primary for CD2. And first of all, I want to thank Eric Douglas and his vice chairs, Lindsay Douglas, Julie Shaw, and Whitney Doss, and Liam Donahue. And Whitney and Liam have stepped forward, and I really admire this new generation who are called to step forward because they know that remaining on the sidelines is no longer an option. And they inspire me, as did the 200,000 women who marched in Denver for the Women's March on January 21st. As did the people who marched in the Climate March in April, and the March for Science the week before, and the Tax March the week before. I joined each and every one of those marches, and I've worked with the organizers of those marches ever since because many of them are new activists, and that is inspiring to me. I'm also inspired by Tammy Story. Tammy Story is a champion for public education, and she's taking on and she's going to defeat Tim Neville in the state senate in District 16. Now, Tim Neville comes from a family of gun lobbyists. In every session, I and my friends who fight for gun violence prevention go down and fight side by side with family members of victims of gun violence against bills introduced by the Neville family. We need to defeat them. We need to take them out of the state senate. And I think Tammy Story is just the candidate to do that, although Jeannie was a fantastic state senator representing 16. So that's why I'm here today. I'm inspired, I'm optimistic, hopeful, and determined. I've never been defined by personal political ambition. I'm not a career politician. I've never worked for a fancy Denver law firm. But when I take on a cause, I'm consistent, committed, and I define a vision and engage others to enlist. On gun violence prevention, for example, I've never wavered in 18 years of activism. I haven't given one of these kind of speeches in a long time. I actually ran for Congress in 2000, so you'll excuse me if I have my notes in front of me. This is the first speech I've given as a potential candidate in a long, long time. I'm a third-generation Coloradan. I was raised in public schools. We raised our daughters in public schools as well. And I passed on to my daughters the Colorado values that my grandparents and parents taught me, which is look out for each other and for the public good, to take care of our natural resources and environment, and to be good stewards for the next generation. My great-grandparents moved here for the same reasons that people move to Colorado today, for opportunity, for our tolerant society, for quality of life, and for our tremendous business environment. I've also been very fortunate in having had the opportunity to work with some of our state's leaders, talented, dedicated, creative people who truly put Colorado on the national political map, particularly representing the 2nd Congressional District. I worked with Tim Wirth when he worked in Washington. I was David Skagg's finance director for his first campaign. I interviewed Mark Udall when I was representing a political action committee, and Jared Polis lectured to my MBA class that I taught at DU. And I know all of them, and the 2nd Congressional District has sent amazing people and made a real difference in Washington and in our country. And that's the opportunity in 2018. From these leaders, I learned a very simple lesson. Ideas do matter. And if you work hard enough, you can make a difference. And we have the opportunity for the Democratic Party in 2018 to grow our party. 2018 may be our best opportunity ever by attracting new activists to vote in the 2018 primary. The first time ever that unaffiliated voters will be able to vote in the Democratic primary. We can begin a transformational reinvention of the Democratic Party, which I believe the Democratic Party needs, if we learn the lessons from 2014 and 2016 failures. I believe that engaging and welcoming new Democratic voters should be our 2018 top priority. And let that begin in the 2nd Congressional District. And let it begin now, and let it begin with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did I have what I do on time?
Did great.